Give me a minute. Before we get started in today's video, I want to talk to you about a couple things I've got going on. Number one, I want you guys to understand that I'm trying my hardest to make these experiences a little bit more interesting every time I do them. I'm doing a little bit more video editing. I'm learning a little bit more in regards to audio. You'll notice that this video's audio should be quite a bit better than the previous. I'm going to do my best to continue to make these videos a little bit more enticing as we go along. Thanks for coming in. And hey, by the way, hit that like button and subscribe for me. Leave some comments. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for coming. Enjoy the video. All right, so here we go. MarkForged. Let's figure out what's going on. Number one, what does MarkForged do? Well, who they are, what they do, when they started, and company missions will all be part of this video. We're going to talk about product offerings, their flagship products, their software, materials, and their future growth prospects. And we're also going to be talking about investment details like their current price, stock analysis, current catalysts, and price targets. Now let's check out the website. MarkForged.com is where you can find all the information you need in regards to this company. And they're going to show us all the different products and offerings they have, as well as have an investor relations page that you can go to. Quick tip. Rule number one, always investigate stocks. Don't just invest in stocks, investigate stocks. Go to their business page, find the investor relations tab, sign up for alerts, and learn some stuff. It's going to save you a lot of money. Okay, first things first, who is MarkForged? What do they do? What are they about? Well, let's see here. Company overview. MarkForged transforms manufacturing with 3D metal and continuous carbon fiber printers capable of producing parts tough enough for the factory floor. The MarkForged Digital Forge brings the power and speed of agile software development to industrial manufacturing, combining hardware, software, and materials to eliminate the barriers between designs and functional parts. Engineers, designers, and manufacturers, professionals all over the world rely on MarkForged metal and composite printers for tooling, fixtures, functional prototyping, and high-value end-use production. Founded in 2013 and based in Watertown, Massachusetts, MarkForged has more than 300 employees globally. MarkForged has been recognized by Forbes in the next billion-dollar startups list, and was listed as the #2 fastest growing hardware company in the US in the 2019 Deloitte Fast 500. Deloitte? Hard to figure that one. Could be Deloitte. Let's look at the management team. We've got Shai Terem, Dorit Lieberman, Mark Schwartz, Andrew Halley, Stephen Karp, Matt Gannon, John Howard, Asaf Zipori. All of these people have been identified. There's no secrets here. It's not like the crypto world. Stephen Karp in particular, general counsel, was just recently mentioned in a filing as of, I believe, Tuesday for transferring an odd amount of stock. Now, digging in a little deeper into that, here's the Form 4. There's Stephen Karp registered at the top for 219 shares valued at a total of $302.22. Now, this was done to cover shares withheld by the issuer to cover taxes associated with the settlement of restricted stock units. A little more clarification on that point. What's going on here is that MarkForged, who is the issuer, had stocks that they promised to issue to Stephen Karp at a certain point in his career. Now, finally, he's hit that point and he's cashing those stocks at least into his name. Now, what ended up happening is there was a tax that went with that. Now, that tax apparently equated to roughly $322 for those stocks to be issued. That's what that filing was for. It doesn't appear to be malicious. It doesn't appear to be as interesting as I thought. The further you dig into most of this stuff, the more you find out it really just isn't that interesting at all. All right, let's get back into it. So here we have the company mission. They're reinventing manufacturing. MarkForged was founded in 2013 on the belief that additive manufacturing can transform how entire industries operate. Our platform, the Digital Forge, continues to make that possible. Now let's get into what the Digital Forge is and the other products that they offer, including software and support. Let's see. All right, now for the fun part. Note, I turned my hat around because things are about to get serious. So here's the deal. We're on the website. Let's look at the 3D printer offerings. Number one, the Metal X system. and PX100. These are their two flagship actual metal printing machines. They create objects finalized in metal. So they are fully functional, fully serviceable. You can grind on them, weld on them, you can do whatever the hell you want. It's pretty impressive. So let's get into the PX100. This guy's a massive tank device. What this one's designed to do is binder jetting. Now, binder jetting allows manufacturers to build items that they previously could not build because of physical impossibilities in the structure process of how they're put together. Now, that may not make sense to a lot of people, but if you've ever 3D printed anything, even on an FDM machine, you would realize exactly what that means. So, let's back this thing up and check out the Metal X system. Metal X system was actually designed as a digital forge with a screen built right onto the bottom of it there. This guy was designed for a little bit more purpose-built products. It's a little bit smaller, you can put it into a lot more locations, and it is a 24-hour turnaround process. A little bit over 24 hours. But the bottom line is you can create an object on that screen. You can upload it to the system. It'll print that object. It'll do what's called center the object with an S, not C-E-N-T-E-R, but S-I-N-T-E-R. And it will turn that printed product into an actual metal fabricated finalized object in a day. I mean, that's a big deal. That changes a lot. So moving on into their more standard stuff, you've got industrial composite 3D printers. The FX20, the X7, the X7 Field Edition, X5, and X3. Let's go ahead and check out the X3 first. It's a smaller cabinet by all rights compared to the rest of them, but this guy right here will allow you to print carbon fiber and nylon filled parts, really increasing the capabilities of your company if you're doing one-off parts, bicycle parts, helmet manufacturing, cell phone cases, you name it. You can make a lot of really impressive objects. Now, carbon fiber in particular is notorious for being extremely strong and capable with handling a lot of damage. I'm sure you've seen race cars out there with carbon fiber hoods. The reason for that is because carbon fiber is also a lot lighter than any other product. So you can make pound for pound product just as strong as something else, but it's going to be lighter. Pound for pound might have been a bad example. Moving on. Let's go to the FX20, the top of the list of their composite printers. An Ultim filament capable large format 3D printer for big, strong, high temp parts, usable from factory floor to flight. Now this is one of their heaviest hitters when it comes to making composites. This thing is impressive. Let's check out this quick video. I want you guys to note something in that video. Did you see the airplanes? Do you know what it takes to get certified to be put in the sky for use? It's an amazingly rigorous test program that you have to go through to certify your product to be able to be used in aviation. Look it up sometime. It's absolutely wild. So the fact that they're doing that at all shows that they've got confidence, quality, accuracy, and they can repeatedly do that. That's all very good things. So let's move on a little bit further here. Let's get into their more household, I would say, type of use products. You've got your desktop 3D printer series, Mark II, Onyx Pro, and the Onyx One. Let's start at the Onyx One. Clearly a desktop-sized unit, capable of fitting into the majority of offices, homes, or garages. This guy in particular can still print the famous Onyx material, which we'll get into here in a little bit, and it makes amazing products just the same as anything else. However, it's not quite as high-end as the larger carbon fiber machines. Interestingly, this unit in particular, using the Onyx, is capable of printing carbon fiber filled nylon material. A little bit different, but still very capable. Now let's see here. The material in particular for this one is solely onyx, so you are going to be a slave to that product, and that may become an issue in the future if the company, for instance, has manufacturing issues on the onyx filament. And I only say that because I've been a 3D printer for quite some time, and sometimes companies have issues with the supply side. I'm sure you guys remember that big event we just went through for the last 2 years. So let's see what else we've got. We've got the Mark II at the top of the tier here. Now this guy in particular is their flagship continuous fiber composite 3D printer. A leading way to make aluminum strength parts on your desktop, the Mark II carbon fiber composite 3D printer enables engineers to generate massive value for their business. This is a small business flagship all-star. This thing, put it into your business if you manufacture parts, and you're gonna find better quality, cleaner prints, more accuracy, better volume, and you're gonna have, at the end of the day, a happier customer base. I can promise you that. If you're doing anything in regards to 3D printing like the rest of us are here, and you're using stuff like this is still connected to my printer, ABS, PLA, you're not doing anywhere near what you could be doing when it comes to these types of machines. No disrespect, I'm one of those printers. So, moving on into some more interesting stuff outside of just their equipment, which by all means is possible that this all can change a lot in regards to the military, aviation, you're talking space flight, you name it. These are just an amazing development. It's going to change in a massive way. So what's more interesting, I think personally, is the software. They actually have created their own software system, and they've developed on it, and they've continued to develop on it and make it better over time. They're not really just doing it as a add-on. They're making that part of their main product too. Let's check it out. Okay, and here we have the Eiger system. Now, if any of you are 3D printers, again, you're familiar with programs like Kira, maybe, Ultimaker. These are application software that you need to communicate to your 3D printing system. The only way to actually do that is through one of these. So it'll slice, what's called slicing a object, and it will create the G code necessary to print the object. They've designed their own on their own machines, so it's integrated rather well. It'll slice any of the objects, or materials rather, that they offer. And let's go ahead and jump in and see what those materials are. Here's the materials page, where we're gonna find 3 main categories. We've got the metal, plastic, and continuous fiber categories. In the metal options, we have 17.4 pH stainless, copper, Inconel 625. We have H13 tool steel, A2 and D2 tool steel. All very interesting materials. You can read about them separately on their page if you're interested. On the plastic side of things, we have Onyx, the Onyx FR, the Onyx ESD, Ultim 9085 filament, Smooth TPU 95A, which is a shore hardness, Precise PLA, and Nylon. In the continuous fiber categories, we have carbon fiber FR, aramid fiber, Kevlar, HSHT fiberglass, and fiberglass standard. All extremely interesting materials. They all have very different capabilities, and they're all providing very wide ranges of service use. They are all supplied by MarkForged as well, which makes it very convenient. It's all single point for the end user. I like all those things. Okay, congratulations. Now you know more about MarkForged than the majority of people on the planet. You officially have studied the business, and you can make a decision based on the quality of a product instead of a comment in a chat room. So congrats again. Now let's move on into the financials. Let's see about future growth, and let's see about the numbers. Do they make sense to invest in? Maybe, maybe not. Let's check it out. Let's start with growth. Looks like MarkForged is to participate in the 25th annual Needham Growth Conference. Now, this information was just released January 5th, 2023, which means that they are currently active in growing the company. Good news. Next up, we have a piece here. MarkForged Billerica manufacturing facility achieves ISO 9001 2015 certification. Now, what this means is that the company is strengthening its manufacturing capabilities. It's meeting stringent ISO requirements, which means that they're focusing on quality more than quantity. Another great thing for growth. This ensures that we'll have a good footing and that we'll have the quality base that we need to create a good company for long term. Now moving into financials, what we've got here is we've got MarkForged Holding Corporation listed at $1.37 currently. Had a recent down day at close at negative 12 cents. Not a big deal when you're only talking $1.37 in the first place. Now look up at the top right, you'll see that we currently have a buy rating on this product. And if you look to the left side towards the center, what you're seeing is a earnings per share and revenue chart. You'll notice that in 2021 quarter 3 and 2021 quarter 4, we were doing a decent job, but that was also a massive influx of money from the big C. Now in quarter 1, 2022 and quarter 2, we had a steady decline. Now looking at the end of 2022 quarter 2, what we ended up having was into quarter 3, an increase not only in expected earnings per share, but actual earnings per share reported. So good news, that's positive direction, positive growth. The market's been increasing trend, all good things. And if you'll notice, the EPS for the future growth up till 2023 quarter 3 is in the proper direction. Now this chart in particular shows institutional investors and how much of this stock they hold. You can see over time, even though we had some unsteady earnings reports, they were still steadily gathering this product, which tells me that as it gets cheaper, its value gets higher, which seems counterintuitive, but follow the money. Big money is buying in a big way. All right, here we are in the Webull desktop app. Mentioned it before. Again, if you don't have it, get it. It's an amazing product. Either use this or TradingView is also really good. Thinkorswim is one of the best. So check this out. Anyway, what we've got on the screen is what we've got top to bottom. This thing capped out at $15.10 shortly after launch, and it looks like dropped down to 78 cents a piece here at the bottom. Now, that's okay. That's all already done and said for. But what we're worried about is what's coming next. Now, if you'll notice, let's check out this Fibonacci retracement line. Now, what a Fibonacci is designed to do is to show us levels of known historical support, and we can utilize these as theories moving forward in regards to where we think the stock may go. Let me show you what I mean. For instance, we opened up the Fibonacci at the peak, 1510, and we're going to close the Fibonacci at 78 cents. We do that because that encapsulates the whole move that I'm interested in this macro view. Macro meaning large overall view, from 30,000 feet, if you will. So looking at the top of this chart, we ended up dropping down underneath this support level, which is typically a sign of the stock's going down. It did a short reversal halfway through this channel, and it closed a candle above that support line, which created positive momentum. It looked as if it may continue, but it pulled the same game it pulled in the opposite direction a minute ago, turned around halfway through the channel, and continued to do another fake out. And yet again, now this time when it closed on the candle, it was closing in the candle. The candle was closing in the support line is what I mean to say. And it wasn't showing us any sure direction. We weren't getting any positive direction, we weren't getting any negative direction. We were just what's called consolidating at that point. Now we got to a point of consolidation to where we finally broke support, we dropped, and we continued to head down to the bottom of that channel. Now as things consolidated here, we had another opportunity of one of two things. Up or down, like it's always been. But notice here, it ended up losing support, dropped below the candle, or below the support line with the candle, and it ended up closing a candle below support. The next candle opened up, and again, completely bad day, closed below support, in turn showing momentum to the downside. A lot of people lost a lot of money that day on some put plays. What ended up happening is it reached down and touched this line of support, bounced off support, giving us very positive volume and very good forward outlook. Now we can walk all the way down through this whole chart and we can see where it bounces and pings off of these lines and truly does seem to respect the Fibonacci on the majority of occasions. Now that's the macro view. Let's get in a little bit tighter and let's check out the micro view. Let's get down to the 1 hour chart. And what you see here is the base 78 cents where we've set the opening of the Fibonacci and we've set the closing at $1.53. Now this was also a few days back. You'll notice that I put this chart together on the 12th. It is now the 23rd. Things have changed. I predicted on the 12th that what we would see is a support line around $1.25. Now I was slightly off on that. As you can see, $1.25 is just slightly above this blue line. But again, the line was respected. A couple fake out plays, no real direction, minus that candle right in the middle. Opened and closed above the support line. Now that was a sign of positive momentum, and this day hurt quite a few people, that I'm sure of. Now again, we bounced off the line, we've sailed north, and we've closed a candle above the line. So what does this mean? Well, here we are again at the moment of truth. Is this sucker gonna bounce off of this line of support and send us sailing north? Is it gonna continue to just simply sail north when it opens, showing massive positive momentum? Or is it gonna sail north and slam its head up against this line of support at $1.53 and turn back around, just like it did before? Now, if it does, we may have some issues. That shows double top. That could be a bit problematic for us. It wouldn't be the first time it's happened. It might be the last time. But if we do open tomorrow, Monday, and we go above this line of support, and we bounce, close another candle above the line of support, then we stand to see some true gains. Now those gains, as far as this chart are concerned, would launch us all the way up to the $2 mark before we saw any more resistance. I don't personally think that's going to happen. It's not going to happen quickly, at the very least. What I do expect to happen, if we do close above the $1.53 line, I expect to see $1.85 myself before we see some resistance. And I only say that because if you look over here, the last point of interest is right here at about $1.83, $1.84. Now once we come up to that, that seems to be where I would be expecting a bit of resistance. If we clear that, by all means, we could clear $2 without much issue. Now let's go back to the 30,000 foot view rather, and take note as to the Fibonacci levels here. It seems to think that we're clear to $4.04. If we clear that $2 mark, then I would expect long-term expectancies to be above that $4.04 mark. I would cut it off at $4 myself. If you want to hold this thing long-term, and I mean 10 years, then you could expect to see the $6, $7, maybe $9.40 per share. I personally plan on getting out of this guy around the $4 per share mark and moving on with my life, unless I see some massive changes in regards to future growth and maybe some possible changes in expansion in regards to physical locations. Then I might reevaluate my position at the time. Anything can change at any given moment. This is just what I'm working with for right now. So for current price targets, again, we're looking at a low side of about $1.25 right now, in my opinion. We're looking at a high side of about $1.80 within the next month or so, and that's assuming the overall market continues with the uptrend that it's currently in. And we noticed on Friday we were kind of seeing a bit of roughage in regards to that continuing. We'll see what happens. Now listen, if you've made it to this point in the video, I want to say thank you. And also, you're truly an educated investor. It's very rare that somebody will take the time and actually look to see where their money's going to go. They'd rather just complain on the back end when it doesn't work out. So congratulations, thanks for watching, and if you did make it to this point, leave a comment down in the video that says Eiger Software, so I know that you're watching and I can personally thank you. We'll see you on the next one. Happy investing.